You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 14th, 2022 meeting of the LaPorte County Solid Waste Management District Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Everybody call the September 14th, 2022 meeting of the Solid Waste District of LaPorte County Board of Directors to order. Would you please use a roll call?
We need to do pledge first.
Oh, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call for the district board, please.
Commissioner Matias. Commissioner Haney.
Present.
Mayor Dermody. Mayor Perry.
Present.
Commissioner Merzinski.
Commissioner, come here.
Councilman Mullenhour.
Present.
And Councilman Prespolinski.
Present.
I have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Okay, now can we have a roll call for the Citizens Advisory Council?
Okay. So for the 9/14 meeting, Paul Brooks, President, Julie Charlesworth, Amy Ficus,
Present.
Jim Irwin,
Present.
Justin Keel,
Present.
Jim Michaels, Amber Seiler,
Present.
Chris Havens.
Present.
There's a quorum of the CAC board.
Thank you. Next, we'll address the minutes of the district board for the July 20th, 2022 meeting. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve that present.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next, we have the minutes of the Citizens Advisory Council Board meeting of July 26, 2022. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. We have the claims docket for August, September, and October.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay. Haven't had a chance to even look at it.
Okay. So let's draw it back then. We'll pause for several minutes to take a look at it.
Just so the board's aware that everybody has received the August and September claims. We've had a chance to review them, and then the mayor or chairman signed those for us. They just need to be accepted into the minutes. You currently have in front of you the October claims,
September.
August and September.
Yeah, October shouldn't have been on there, actually.
You just had the August claims that the board's already looked at, the mayor's signed the September claims are in front of
Sorry, I was like, there was a detour on my. Okay.
you. It looks like that train down there, that the mayor leaving across our tracks, right?
Let the record show that Commissioner Matias and Dermody are here with us now.
I believe all those claims went out yesterday morning to everybody, the preview before the meeting.
They did. So do you need a motion?
Well, I'm waiting for a thumbs up from Commissioner Prespolinski. Are you okay with your review?
We need 2 more minutes.
Okay.
One of those claims you have in front of you Councilman, the ones here are the payroll claims too. They're separate from the regular claims.
Okay.
Good. Do we have a motion to?
We can move forward. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Move on to the financial reports through September 30th.
As always, it looks like this, and what I point out to the board, which is important, what's in yellow at the top. We have sufficient funds to pay our claims, and we have sufficient funds to proceed through the rest of the year. As you have time, you can review the rest of the columns and see what the money goes, but like I said, the yellow is what's important. Make sure we have enough money.
And Clay, did we decide what the rentals or what is it that the county's no longer going to charge?
Administrative fee,
Yes.
we did. We went to the, after you gave me permission, I met with commissioners, put together an agreement, went back and forth between the attorneys, went back to the commissioners meeting, they approved it, started October 1st of this year.
And those funds will then go into, that we're paying rent or admin, will go into,
It'll just roll back into our general fund at the end of the year for board approval. We'll transfer it to a different line item. If something comes up before the end of the year, that's a $45,000 bump for the district board.
and my concern was, again, that just gets rolled up into a general fund and versus monies that could be used to something.
Well, and we did add on the 2023 budget, capital projects line item, funded at $50,000. We thought we could fund that with that $45,000 and then another $5,000 from the $25,000 we saved on rent. So it won't be any additional increase to our budget, it'll just be a little shifting of funds.
And if the board decided to support that, would you need a motion, or is that something we review at the review?
It's already been past the review process. I've sent that to you folks to review our budget, and then I'll be going later on in the agenda. I'll be meeting with the county council on September 26th for a public hearing of our 2023 budget.
Because I like the idea of the capital projects, because you're going to need funding.
But like anything else, $50,000 is not going to buy me a payloader, so I'll have to come back and ask you folks for your permission for me to finance it in a certain way using the capital fund to pay for it. Again, just go out and spend it. I'll have to have your approval.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the financial reports?
So moved.
through September?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Haney, second. Second by Commissioner Rosinski. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah, Mr. President, I do have a question about it, though. One more question.
Sure.
So, the year-end estimated fund balance is going to be $1.5 million.
Right. We're going to get a distribution at probably 45 days after November 10th when they collect the second half of the taxes. Then 45 days we'll have our second distribution. And we're projecting it's going to be about 1.3 million. And what we have left to roll over should push up to 1.5.
Okay. Good.
And that's supposed to carry us over till June when we get our May distribution.
Okay. Good. It's always nice to know we have money.
Thanks to you folks, we do have money now.
Said, trying to figure out how to do it.
Okay, moving forward, comments from the public. Do you have any comments from the public?
I would like to ask if staff in the future would be willing to include the financial reports in our packet over here. That way we can follow along. I know we don't exercise fiscal oversight like the district court does, but we do like looking at the numbers, so.
Sure, those are all public documents.
Of course.
Lynn sends those out monthly to the district board. Would you like them monthly or just quarterly?
Monthly sounds good to me.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think the board would have a problem with that. They're all public documents.
Okay, that'll go into place immediately. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last call, public comments. No public comment. Comment from the public is now closed. Director's report.
Just give you a quick update. We're having our last big collection of the year. I know Commissioner Haney's been plugging this for us at all his public meetings. This Saturday, from 8 to 1, fairgrounds, we're going to do our big 7 to 1. We usually average between 1,200 and 1,600 cars that come through there. The public really appreciates it. We take everything from tires, appliances, electronics, we're shredding that day. Any type of household hazardous waste chemical you might have, or medicines or sharps, we take all those at that time. Anybody wants to come out and participate, you're more than welcome to. If you just want to come out and watch, you're more than welcome to. Third Base Bar and Grill is going to be providing us lunch, so come out around noon, you can have lunch with us. No, none of those. It's a sandwich.
Yeah, Mr. President, I do have a question for the director. So on the hazardous waste collection days, is that's a company that's collecting materials?
Correct.
Okay. To get that company, do you go out for 3 bids?
We do.
With other hazardous waste companies?
We don't specifically go out for 3 bids, we just put it out for bid, hoping to get, at least multiple people to come in. We're not required to have just 3.
Oh, okay.
We do a public bidding, and we do it with Lake and Porter County, so our numbers are greater, so we hope that we'll get better interest in it. And we're currently, we have a 3-year contract. Actually, it was a 1-year contract with 2 1-year renewals, and this is the last year of the renewals. So we will be going out probably in October, looking for new vendors for 23 and on.
Okay, have you ever dealt with a company called Heritage Environmental?
They've come to our bid meetings, but Tredevi has still been our best bidder.
Because I used to deal with a U.S. Steel. Yeah, so.
I know we appreciate any type of competitive bid, it's better for us to get all those folks out here.
Thank you.
The next item I have is our public hearings coming up on September 26th. We'll be before the county council for their, that's won't be their approval, it'll be for the public hearing for the public to come out. And I provided our calendar once again, shows you our guidelines. We're all up to September 26th, which is the public hearing. It'll take place in the county complex at 6 p.m. Give the public an opportunity to address our budget. And then from that point, we'll come back on October 24th with the county council's adoption of our 2023 budget. The next item I have is recyclable containers for electronics and our public access in Michigan City. This started, Michigan City Sanitary District, who kind of oversees the property that our electronics trailer is sitting on, is having some trouble with some people coming in there and making a mess and taking stuff that they shouldn't be taking. So they offered for us to maybe look at one of their other locations, which is their maintenance building on Kentucky Street. We thought this might be a prime opportunity if we can move the electronics trailer, but also move our public access, because we're getting a lot of dumping at the Market Mall site, and it just looks bad. Sasha went over and met with Mr. Smith, looked at the location. Might be a little tweaking we need to do for our boxes that can be set up there for, because the way the trailer's set, now if we set it the way we wanted to, when we come there to empty it, our box truck would block the driveway going into the maintenance facility. Just don't want to do that. So maybe there's a way that we can shift the trailer back a little bit, so the boxes are off to the side so the truck can be there. We can get it loaded and not interfere with the day operations of Michigan City. We're to the point now where we've met with the sanitary folks and the maintenance folks. They know what we want to do. They know the pros and cons of it. Mr. Smith said he has to meet with the mayor, and he has to meet with Councilman Prespolinski to get their approval before we can further, or get their comments and concerns before we can proceed any further. And once again, if it is approved, we'll make sure it's done far out on the calendar where we can advertise it enough that folks will know. And I'm telling you right now, they're still going to leave stuff at the old locations. we'll still monitor those and try to keep it as clean as possible, but it'll take a while for the public to get used to the new location. We moved our site here down to the compost site 5 years ago, and we still have people come in and say, I used to bring TVs here, where did I take them? It's like, down the road.
So I have a question. Will it be as accessible, or will it be behind gates that only open during city work hours?
I was hoping it was gonna be only open during city work hours. They would like for it to be outside the gate, so it doesn't interfere with their operation and be more accessible to the public. Mr. Smith said there is cameras that faces that area, so they'll be able to see if somebody illegally leaves something or goes in there and takes it, but they shouldn't be taken.
Okay, thank you.
Sasha, I don't know if you have anything else to add to your meeting with.
Sean was saying, as far as with the box trucks backing up and blocking the driveway, that they might be able to weld a ramp, and we can use a pallet jack and just park next to it, and Scott could pallet jack the stuff over to the box truck. But they said they'd have to talk about it, so.
And we do have pallet jacks to do that with.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or concerns? And we'll keep you abreast as we learn. We'll let you have the information also.
Well, it'd be great to get it out of the Market Mall parking lot, because that is a hot mess, terrible. Eyesore, and Johnny knows about that.
Yeah, and I guess overall, I'd like to see that box not inside, because if it's inside the fence, I can just see on Monday morning
Sure.
or the next day,
Yeah.
there's gonna be trash all over the place. Yeah. And, to put it outside, and, even if we have, we know we have cameras on that building, and we can put a sign up there, to say, you're on camera, blah, 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 but, I guess that would be a question between the mayor and Sean Smith, because Sean works for the mayor, that, how's this gonna be managed? Okay, if we see a bunch of stuff dumped on the ground, but if somebody could review this tape every day and go back, now you're gonna have a FBI investigation to see who's dumping, putting a 5-gallon paint, 5-gallon container of paint when it shouldn't be there. So, yeah, I'm just thinking if we could find a better location than where it's at, sitting out in the middle of nowhere, when people come by, I see people dumping there. I've even kind of approached some guys that were dumping some stuff there one day. And I'm not gonna do that again. Yeah.
It didn't go well, huh?
No, it didn't. Not on my part, but I just kind of wanted to get out of there after, But anyway, yeah, I just think another location has to be chosen, and if we work with that and see how that works, if that doesn't work, maybe there's a better another location besides that. But yeah, I agree. That just looks like a eyesore for the whole city.
And I know you've been working with some other areas in Michigan City. I heard your press release the other day where you just cleaned up the side of that one road and went back by and there's a couch there. It's like,
Oh, yeah, Barker
almost like
Road in Cleveland, yeah.
cleaned it up just for them to drop something on.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an inevitable situation in trying to manage it, but we can just try to do the best we can.
Okay, that being said, Mr. Priswoodski, on behalf of Michigan City, do you have any issue with starting with the central maintenance area and see how we can make it work?
Do I what again?
Have any issues with starting there at the central maintenance area and see how it works?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have any problem whatsoever with
I have
it.
no issue speaking as mayor, so let's go ahead and do it.
You reach out to Mr. Smith and let him know that,
Yeah.
and we'll start
We've
the
got
process.
enough real estate there. I think we can make it work.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
And then any signage or anything, Clay, you guys will pay for all the signage that goes along with that? Okay.
When I say we pay for it, most of the time we have the county highway.
I was gonna say.
One of those hand-in-hand things.
Somebody
He
will pay
decide,
for it,
he
right?
decide.
My glad hand goes out for somebody else to put it in. But
Okay.
any of the professional signs we'll have to put out there. Make it look nice. And last we have is a resignation on the Citizens Advisory Council. Caitlin Bell, she had mentioned that between her work life and her going back to school life, she's getting very busy. and she can't devote the time that she wants to devote to the CAC board, so we do have another opening. We have started the process of advertising. We mentioned it to the CAC board for them to start working on a new member. Anybody you folks know that might want to send somebody over, we're willing to take any applications and bring them back to you for the, because this board actually appoints to the CAC board. I think that's, Paul must have been working his members too hard, drove them off. That's all I have for the director's report.
Okay. Thank you, Director. Moving forward to old business.
Old business is our newsletter. You all have there in front of you. We got some comments in the past about the name One Man's Trash. We thought that was a little too one-sided. So we started to look, maybe getting a program to rename it. So we've asked for some suggestions. Commissioner Brzezinski sent us some suggestions. The CAC board took all those suggestions, and maybe I'll turn that over to Sandra so she can tell you how many you received and.
I don't know. We received a lot because I had it at the fair where people could drop off, they could write a name in and just put their contact information on there. So we probably got 30 or 40 from just the fair, people coming up with different names. So then I passed them on to the CAC board and let them kind of go through them and try to choose and narrow it down to 10. So far, the Recycle Register is winning with 3 votes. So I haven't heard back from a couple other people, so I was gonna wait. And then in between, I did get some other suggestions, so I was gonna maybe add those and see if people had to change their vote.
We thought we might send this back to the CAC board again, say, hey, why don't you review what you got? The numbers weren't that, I mean, there was a lot of participation, but the vote wasn't that great. So maybe nobody liked the.
They liked all different ones.
So we thought we'd gather some more, maybe narrow it down. We're targeting the first of the year with the new, because once we get the name picked up, then we got to work on our banner. Find out,
Okay,
okay.
then we want to carry it over to the next meeting, and hopefully we can.
Yeah, it's just informational for you, actually. It's just let you know that we're still working on it. It hasn't fallen, it's just can't come to a consensus yet on a good name.
So Mr. Brzezinski shouldn't take a new marketing job anytime soon.
I don't know if any of his, I think you sent us in 3 suggestions.
He got a couple votes.
He did get a couple votes.
Yeah. He did.
But you're only allowed to vote once, Rich. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Glenn. Is there any other old business?
And normally at this time during the joint meeting, we would ask if Mr. Brooks's committee has any comments or statements they want to make to the board.
Anyone on the CAC board have any comments? Board?
Okay, that being the situation, then I'll ask for motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second. Motion made, seconded, those in favor? Aye.